Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. Man of the People, because I enjoy working for the fans of the Carolina Panthers. My co-host, Andre Cassidy, will be joining us shortly. We have some new equipment that I gave him right before the show, and he's having a little bit of difficulties with that, but he will check us out shortly. Great show for you today. We're going to do what we always do, Sunday pregame, which is get you guys ready and girls ready to watch this Carolina Panthers team take on the Seattle Seahawks. And there he is. I didn't not know I was bringing you on instantly there, but there he is. Don't talk much yet because I haven't plugged in my headphones. So I'm going to kick you off. Let's see. Like this. There we go. So we're going to get you prepared for the Seahawks matchup like we do each and every pregame on a Sunday. Got a few things that we're going to go through, but one of the things I want to talk about is the merchandise that we're giving away. So we just started last week. I want to touch on it again so that everybody knows how to win and how it works so that you have the best opportunity to win the merchandise that we're giving away. So Andre and I have decided this roller coaster of a season with the Carolina Panthers, we're going to do something that has you looking forward to our show each and every week, which is giving away Carolina Panthers merchandise. And there's various merchandise to be given away each week. Let me see if I can quickly find a clip of the merchandise. Not sure if I can. Let's try this one right here. There we go. So there's a quick clip that I was able to find of the merchandise that we're going to be giving away each and every week. So this is how this is going to work. What we're going to do is on our Monday show, our day after the game show is actually a better way of saying it because we have a Thursday night game, so sometimes it'll be a Friday. But on our day after game show, we're going to tell you the keyword to have you register for winning the merchandise. It's that easy. So all you will do is listen for that word that we're going to tell you during the video, leave a comment with that word, and as long as you are also a subscriber to the channel, you will have a chance to win that merchandise. And then on game day, post-game game day, we'll give away that merchandise. And whatever we have left, we'll let you pick which piece of merchandise you want, and then we'll send it off to you. So C-Dog was our winner from last week, and we'll announce our winner this week after the show. All right? So let me go ahead and see if I can properly get this guy back on the channel. Let's see. Oh, I didn't put on my headphones, and you're muted. I don't know if I muted you or you muted yourself, but let me get in my headphones.
Well, I can hear you just fine.
All right, you can hear me fine. Let me put on my headphones. Give me just a second.
Yeah, how's everybody feeling out there today? I know we're hopping on and we're getting everything situated here, but yeah, week 3 matchup between the Panthers and the Seahawks. I know a lot of people are feeling a little deflated not having Bryce Young in there, and we'll touch on that here in a bit. But leave in the comments down below. How are you feeling for today's game? Is there a sense of optimism or a little bit of pessimism that all of you are feeling right now?
Yep, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. I'm not going to – I hate when both of them are plugged in. I don't know how you can do both plugged in. You got both yours in your ear?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds so weird for me. All right.
It's a feel thing.
Yeah, let me get some shout-outs here. We got Laura Dollinger. I think I got that right. Go Panthers, let's win this game. That'd be great. We're going to talk about also, because one of the comments that we've had this week was, what if Andy Dalton comes out and does great? So we'll talk about that as well. Whatever you all want to talk about, which reminds me, there is a link in the description. We want you all to come on the show. Each and every time we're live, there's an opportunity for you to come on the show. Leave your comments, say your questions. We go live for that reason to interact with you guys. And in the event that Andy Dalton has the worst game ever and the score is just terrible and you can't stand this Carolina Panthers team, we are here for you and we will still give you some merchandise after the game to help you feel a little bit better. I got my water nearby because I know people are going to start talking about my voice. So.
Hey, it's a little bit of a throwback to when you got back from Seattle last year.
Why are you going to bring that up, huh?
I know, hey, somebody was. It might as well be me because I know there's people out there who have good memories and will eventually bring it up at some point.
Seattle kicked my butt last year, man. I had a red eye flight to come back, and the red eye flight turned into a sunrise flight to New York, and it just kicked my butt. It's a few things that will help show my age, and that is when fatigue just kicks my butt and I don't get enough rest. So that's why you hear the voice that you hear now. Other than that, I don't look my age too much. Thanks, Laura, for the comment. We got Leonard Kowalski. Good morning. Afternoon, Chris and Panther Nation. Appreciate you. Ali Bodrick, welcome back. Hey, Ali, why hadn't you become a member? Yeah, you guys should become a member. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Keep those comments coming. I will try not to cough in you guys' ears too much today as we go through some of these things here. All right, so I'm going to do most of it because I wasn't a good co-worker to get Andre the script and all the notes for the show. So I'm going to talk through most of it. We have a few transactions that the Carolina Panthers did yesterday, and one of them is no big surprise at all, as quarterback Jake Luton has been elevated to the 53-man roster for the Week 3 standard elevation, as well as cornerback DiCaprio Boodle. I don't know if that's how you say his name or not. Man, my voice is terrible.
Drink it up, man. Try to reorient over there.
Give me a second. I need to really try to clear my throat. I don't want you guys here, so hold on.
With the unofficial start of fall, that will be the case. Allergy season is back in flow, with it being a little colder in the morning time here in the Queen City. I know I'm getting a little bit of the sniffles myself, but hey, that's what happens when you change seasons from summer to fall.
I'm old, man. That's my problem. Hey, we got Noah Sparks, who is a member. So good reason to be a member. We're always going to take a moment to acknowledge your comments. And you also have that certified little badge, that gold seal. Noah says, hope our coaches open up our offense for Andy like they said and don't run the same simple scheme we've been rolling out with Bryce. So, yes, they did say that they would open it up a little bit more. Just because Andy knows a little bit more. So that has anything to do with Bryce's intellect to do so. But a guy that's been in the league, I think 13 seasons versus a guy that's been in not 3 weeks. Yes, there's some more things that you could do just because they have more knowledge about the game. So we should see some more opening up from the offense in that regard, from Frank Wright, who will be calling the plays. All right, so let's get you a little bit more up to date for everything. Carolina Panthers entered this contest 0-2 after falling to the New Orleans Saints on Monday night, 20-17. The Seattle Seahawks entered Week 3 with a 1-1 record. They defeated the Detroit Lions 37-31 on the road in Week 2. We will also play the Detroit Lions in about 2 weeks. That could end up being the game in which Bryce Young returns, and it won't be a welcome party because that Detroit Lions line is pretty good. So that'll be a test there. Little tidbit for you: 3 playoff bouts is between the Seahawks and the Panthers. This will mark the 16th matchup between the two squads. The Seahawks hold the edge 8-4 all time in the regular season against the Carolina Panthers. So hopefully we'll start to change that up a little bit. I don't have a graphic for you, but the Carolina Panthers sit squarely in 4th place in the NFC South behind Tampa, New Orleans, and the Falcons. So that's where we are as a division. A random fact that I just saw that I'm going to share with you guys. Keep those comments coming, and whoever wants to call in, please get ready to call in. Here's a random fact that just jumped out at me, right? Because we have this superstar coaching staff, and now I'm not able to find it. Did you know Panthers senior defensive assistant coach Dom Capers is a graduate of Washington University?
Oh, wow. That's a mouthful right there, his title. Senior defensive assistant.
Yes.
That's quite the mouthful right there. Quite the title. Did not know that, though.
A few more in terms of the notable connection type things. We got Panthers general manager Scott Fitterer, who spent 20 seasons That's a very long time.
That is, yeah.
That's in the NFL. Good gosh, he spent 20 seasons with the Seattle Seahawks from 2001 to 2020, at which he came over to the Carolina Panthers. Dan Morgan also spent time with the Seattle Seahawks from 2010 to 2017, serving in a variety of roles. So, definitely some pregame handshakes and conversations going on right now in Seattle as they get ready to do this.
Definitely some relations there, that's for sure.
Yeah. And let's go ahead and get into some other things. So we also like to touch on current top 10 rankings for the offense and defensive side, see where we are with this Carolina Panthers team. And let me scroll up a little bit. So we're going to go on the offensive side first. I hate that I don't have this already written down, but, whatever. How did you become a member, Noah? So we just had Terrence Jones ask, how do you become a member? So there is a link in the description. Everything I pretty much talk about today will be available in the description. Whether you want to join, Cash App, donate, Super Chat, everything's in the description. So, Terrence, if you want to join, which we certainly would welcome and be appreciative of you doing so, just look for the link in the description. But also, if you're on YouTube, just scroll up a little bit from the video, and you should see a join link beneath the video that'll give you a chance to do so. But we got a few good things going on offensively, even though we have not had the output that we all would like us to have. So top 10 rankings that we currently have as a unit in the NFL would be rushing yards per game. I'll let you guess, Andre, where we stand. We're top 10.
I'm going to say we're 8th in that category. That's my guess.
Pretty close. We're 9th with 127 yards per game. Leonard Kowalski, he hosts Mingo, gets his first NFL TD today. I wouldn't be mad at any of those guys. Well, I can't say Terrace already has a TD. He just doesn't have any this season. But any TDs today, I'm going to be happy about. But I appreciate your comment, Leonard. We also are 4th in rushing yards per attempt at 4.9.
Ooh, that's a big one right there.
Excuse me. Yep. So those are 2 top 10 rankings on the offensive side. Do you think we have any on the defensive side?
I want to say yes, because I feel like that's been the highlight for Carolina is how well defensively they played so far. I'm starting to say yes.
First game, this will be our first game and many games without Shaq Thompson. So we're already short Shaq Thompson and J.C. Horn, but still have been doing pretty respectively on defense. But we have a total yards allowed per game. All right, Andre, we're going to make this interactive so I have the entire script. What do you guess the ranking is?
I'm going to go 6. I'll say 6.
You're all like gung-ho today with these rankings. We're 8th, 281 yards allowed per game. And then passing net yards per game. What's going to be your guess?
I'm going to say 8th.
Because I got on you, right? But if you wanted to go, if I didn't get on you, what would you say?
Probably 5th.
Okay. So this was one that we actually are really good at. 4th.
Oh, wow.
4th in passing net yards per game defensively. That's really, really good. 3rd in sacks with 8. And we are 10th with third down efficiency at 34.6. All right. So, Terrence, I see that you came in. Give us a second to go through just, I think, one more thing, and we could bring you on. But actually, we're through most of our stuff. You got the inactive list?
Not yet. They should be releasing it at 2:30. That's the time.
If you could, Andre, keep your eye out on the inactive list as well as help me maintain a good eye on these comments, all right?
Gotcha.
All right, let's see if we can bring my man Terrence in here. Man, you look like you play for Colorado.
Yay. I did. Thing, but it ain't. Showing up thing, man. How y'all doing, Chris? Y'all doing all right?
I'm on a struggle bus a little bit, but I'm here for you all. Yeah, I appreciate you asking.
I feel that we out here in Rock Hill right now, man, getting it done at work. On my break, I figured I'd go ahead and try to hop on and talk to y'all.
Oh, my man, on his break? I appreciate that.
All right. Appreciate the dedication there.
Yeah, man. I just had a couple questions for y'all, man, and maybe some of the listeners out there as well. Last week, man, our run game wasn't really as impactful as I pretty much would like it to, like it to be. We didn't really use our tight ends. Do you guys have confidence in Coach Reich's play calling ability, and do you think he's undermining his offense? I mean, he has such a great coaching staff. I feel like we should trust him, right, or not?
So for the play calling, I feel like everybody's excited for Thomas because of the fact that he came from the Rams, and it ain't working. And, you just want to see something different. And I get it because we have been dealing with some mediocrity for so long. It's like anytime you feel like, hey, there's something else we can do, you just like want to do it and stop letting Frank call it. I think Frank deserves a few more weeks of calling plays. He said that himself, like, he could probably get better, but it doesn't feel like it's been bad. And he is an offensive-minded coach, so it's like, why would you think that he suddenly needs to stop doing that? And I also feel like with the rest of the coaching staff having so much experience that, yes, it has not been the start that I feel like they should have. And I personally was looking at last week to say, I'm going to really start having a true opinion of this coaching staff. If they continue to look like they are looking, that means these guys are not gelling well. Because I feel like with all these guys, with all this experience, that somebody should be pounding the table saying, hey, we need to change this. We need to look at that. We need to change that. So that's my response on the play call. And I think it can improve. I think it will improve. And also, you got to keep in mind, Thomas Brown is still there in his ear throughout the week telling him other stuff that he may want to see or that he should do. And I feel like, that collaboration is taking play.
Do you think some of the Carolina Panther fans are a lot more critical than they should be around this rebuild time, especially over Bryce Young?
You want to get that, Andre? Or you want me to get it?
Yeah, I'll take it. People have expectations, right? They want this thing to start out well, and they want it to, in some cases, it be instantaneous. And you're obviously not going to get that, especially with a new coach and a new quarterback with a bunch of new receivers. Everything on that offense is new. So there's definitely an adjustment period that this team is going through right now. And you're hearing the word rebuild a lot now. And coming into the season with the moves that they made, I didn't get the sense that it was a rebuild. I thought it was just a refresh and trying to get things to a point to where we could be competitive in the playoff picture. And obviously that hasn't been the case so far. Obviously there are things that, this team needs to do in order to get to that point, and there's some glaring needs. And I think we can all agree that definitely at the wideout spot, we're just simply not getting the production that we thought coming into the season we would get. So there's definitely some things that need to come to fruition over these next couple of weeks to have us feel a little more confident in the team, because right now, I mean, you can see it all over Twitter. Like, everybody is just in an uproar, whether it's fair or not, about where the team is positioned right now as we head into week 3.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, man. I got one last question for y'all, folks, man. Y'all think we're going to end in a positive season this year or what?
It's not looking good so far, but
A little rough.
it's hard to really say at this point because I try to balance the fan side of me and then the objective side of me, right? But
Right.
let's just be frank. Like, the reality check really came in last week and really took all the energy and the positivity away. At least from me. I know you can say it for yourself and for others, but I mean, that air from that balloon is gone. So it's really hard to say at this point, but with these Frank Reich teams, they have a tendency to start out slow
I,
and then
I was
finish
saying the
strong
same
towards.
thing. I was
Yeah,
saying the
yeah,
same thing to my buddy yesterday. I was like, Coach Reich has a knack for coming, slowly gaining momentum and taking his team up, man. So my fingers are crossed. I'm waiting on it too, man. I'm waiting on it
yeah.
too. But hey, man, thank you guys for having me on, dude.
Thanks for
I'm gonna
coming
get
on,
back
man.
to it.
All right,
I'm gonna
man.
get
Check back in
to
on the
it.
clock.
All right.
Stay out of
All right.
trouble,
Y'all
my
take
guy.
it easy.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to say about his questions was, I think he said, will we end on a good note? It just really depends on where your expectations are. I myself, and I polled a lot of other beat writers that cover this team on a daily basis, and not okay, one person said that they would make the playoffs, and it took him forever to come to that conclusion. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I said that at the beginning. And as long as you understand, like, what kind of results should we see in year one with a new quarterback that's a rookie and a new coaching staff, what should you expect to see with a team that does not have what seems like is a true number one wide receiver? It's going to take a little bit of time. There's going to be a little bit of growing pain for that to take place. So with that expectation, then I'm like, yeah, the season will probably be where I think it is. But if you really were thinking, like, because we have the number one pick, that you're automatically going to have this 1 in a million come out, go 14-2 or 14-3 because we now have 17 games, then yeah, you're setting yourself up for a disappointment. But that wasn't a realistic thing anyway. But I just think it's so hard for Panther fans right now because you have been dealing with so much losing that it's hard to be patient.
Yeah, it's been a while. Like 2017, that's the year we keep bringing up. That was the last time that we had any semblance of success. And so, the expectation versus reality debate, again, it's settling in right now, and we were in for a rude awakening. And if we have another performance like we did last week in today's game, it's just going to hit even harder. And we just have to be prepared for it. I mean, I'm coming in with no expectations for today's game, just because of that. Because there is that chance that, again, another harsh dose of reality is going to come in and set through.
Hey, look at what we got here. Let's see if we can cue up the sound effect.
Ooh.
We had Charlie that just became a member of the channel. So
That's
anytime
what we like
that we
to see, fellas.
have that happening, we certainly want to bring a little extra attention to those people that help support this channel. Independent media, 100% supported by you all. So thank you very much, Charlie. Look like you're a fan of the Hornets, so you probably have a tough life, man, trying to come to grips with this Panthers team and where we are. The Hornets that just seem to be going all over the place. At least they got a superstar as well in LaMelo, but he got hurt, I know, a few times. I don't watch basketball closely to know all the details, but it just still seems like it's a slight struggle over there.
And he just got paid too, so I mean, there's that.
LaMelo just got a new contract?
He did. He got a 5-year, I think it was in the range of like $200 million, but he did just get paid over the summer. So that's the one good thing that's happening with the Hornets.
Wow.
At least up to this point.
Told you I'm not in touch. I had no clue. But
they have secured him.
Secured the bag. Hey, let's continue. Hey, so that was great. We had Terrence come on his break at work. So if my man can come on during his break at work, everybody else is at home, in the backyard, in the car, you can come on, all right? So please, that link is in the description. Click on that. Let's talk, comments, questions. We're here for it. Let me give you a few other tidbits, and then we'll start to work through these comments. And Andre, you can let me know if Patrick has sent any other pictures other than that one that he sent earlier, and I'll share that.
He just sent one just a little while ago, just 3 minutes ago.
A different one from the stadium shot?
Yeah, there's a different one.
All right, so go ahead and
look at it real quick.
Email me that over if you don't mind, and we'll share it with everybody that's watching. So though Andre and I are here in lovely Charlotte, North Carolina, we do have 1/3 of the Charlotte Vibe team that's out in Seattle. So our photographer is out on the field. He's been there for probably about an hour now on the field. So photos of the game, we're going to have them. Look on Instagram, Twitter. We'll be posting those pictures. Phenomenal pictures of the game. In case you like some photos, you definitely want to check it out. And make sure you follow us on the other social media. A few quick tidbits for you. And then we're going to spend the rest of the time talking with you guys and your questions. Brian Burns got two things that he's right on the cusp of being able to reach. And I'm going to take a drink from my water before I say these.
All right, they are on your way over, Chris.
Thank you very much. I feel like I need the whole mask, handkerchief, all this stuff going on over here. Good gracious. I apologize, everybody. But, all right, so tidbits. Brian Burns first. He needs just 2.5 sacks to pass Kevin Green for 5th all-time in Panther history on sacks. So Brian Burns needs just 2.5 sacks today to pass Kevin Green for 5th all-time. He may or may not get that today, right? But here's one that he could absolutely get today. And this is, I'm telling you, if you're watching the game with some friends today, I got some good facts for you.
Ooh, can you guarantee it, Chris? Is this a guarantee
I
from the man
can't
of the people?
guarantee, but this is a very good chance. He only needs one tackle for a loss to pass Greg Hardy, if you remember that guy.
Oh, yes.
Was he ate cereal soup? No, I forget that saying that it. What was he like? I ate something soup. No, anyway, I'm totally messing it up. But one more tackle for a loss to pass Greg Hardy for 7th all time in Panthers history on tackles for losses. All right.
Okay. That's a pretty interesting tidbit there, and I believe he will get it today. That would be my guarantee. If I had to offer a guarantee, I think he'll
Yeah.
get it today.
And we got some others, but they're a little bit not within
Far-fetched.
bridge. Yeah, well, not going to happen. Example: Dante Jackson needs 4 interceptions to pass Mike Minter for 4th. That ain't going to happen today.
Yeah, not unless if he goes ballistic. I mean, come on now. Yeah, that's a little out there.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into these comments. We're going to go to these members first. Actually, one more pause before I go into the members. Let me get these pictures that my man Andre just downloaded. We'll share these with you.
Of the red rifle.
He looks like a man happy to be getting a fat paycheck.
Hey, he's gonna earn it today. This is the optimistic side of me speaking right now. He's gonna earn it today.
All right, here you go. Only on Charlotte Vibes channel will you see pictures from the field. Boom.
Charlotte Vibe exclusive.
It's not perfectly cropped. I apologize, so I'll move it around a little bit. But does he not just look like a dad that's happy that he's going to be playing football today?
Hey, he's in some type of mood, man. I'll tell you what, he's just got that aura about him today. Like, man, this may be the only time this season where I get to walk on the field and, do my thing, yada, yada, yada. Let me just say this, too. That beard and hair combo, that man's looking sharp today. He's looking cleaned up for a potential 300-yard day. I mean, who knows?
300. It
Again,
looks good.
The optimistic side of me speaking right now. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not.
All right, and here was a view of the field earlier today. Got some nice clouds going there in the background. For those
Clouds
of you
in Seattle.
surprising, right?
All right.
Anyway, and then we got one more great picture we'll share. Look at this one. He looks like a character, not like a bad character. I mean, he looks good. He looks good.
He looks locked in. He looks locked in and ready to go today. He looks pretty confident in these pictures. Well, I mean, I guess we'll, give Patrick the credit there for making him look like that. But I mean, he looks ready to go today. I think, that's a positive thing that we're seeing so far.
All right, so a few photos for you all to enjoy this morning from our great photographer, Patrick. Let's go ahead and dive into these comments. Andre, I'm going to let you handle a lot of these.
Okay.
Oh, I think I already read that one. Did I read this one? Yeah, I read that one already. Let's go to Noah still saying if we have less than 5 passes, 15 yards down the field, I'll be upset. And I got one more from Noah, who also says, I agree, Chuba has looked better than Sanders. Hope he gets more rush attempts this week. So there you go, Andre. Comment on those 2 things from Noah.
Yeah, let's start with the run game because I think that's going to be really the key, right, is winning first down. Like, we have been in too many situations where it's 2nd and 9, 2nd and 11, yada, yada, yada. We have got to win on first down. And part of winning on first down is being able to establish the run game, right? And so we got to put ourselves in position to make these chunks a little bit more manageable. I think we'll see a little bit more of Chuba today just because he's probably the more power-styled runner of the two. But you're going to see more of Miles Sanders, I feel like, in the pass game today, out of the backfield, doing some screen passes, being Andy Dalton's security blankie, if you will. So I do feel like they're going to go and make that a priority today. Kind of like what they did last year when they were in Seattle. I feel like all they did was run the football up the middle, and we're going to need to see some of that today, just to provide some balance and some variety in this offense. Because Chris, as we've seen over these past 2 weeks, in the second half, we've been in a deep hole where the offense has been reliant on the pass game, and that was really all that they could call in that situation because they're trying to come back from a deficit that ultimately they could not overcome. So definitely an emphasis in the run game today.
Well, I feel like our pass game, like we have not had to go to it, but it's just like when we go to it, it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when we get into a down and distance that you know that we're going to pass, we really don't have a chance. So that's kind of what's happening there. But I pose this question to you. Do you think just because our fan base is so sensitive and so desperate for something to be successful that we're just anything that we can find to complain about, like let's take away play calling from Frank and give it to Thomas because we just want to try something else that works. So like with Chuba, he's never been a bad back, but a lot of people have not liked Chuba for his hands. I can't believe we're talking about Chuba. Someone's like, oh, we got to get Chuba. Like maybe Chuba did have a good first week in Atlanta, but on average, Miles Sanders is going to be better. And maybe Miles just didn't have a spectacular game. So now we're like, well, bring back what happened in that first game against Atlanta. I want to see half Chuba. I want to see half Miles Sanders. And, I just wonder how much we're being so hyper reactive because we just want something to work and we're getting desperate.
Yeah, and again, it's just manage your expectations, right? Like, there's a reason why they brought in Miles Sanders to be a part of this offense because he has that Christian McCaffrey like ability to run the ball and also be somebody who can come out of the backfield and get some yards after catch. So that's the thing with him. And again, it just comes down to balance between the two of them. And, with Chuba, he's been solid, but he's obviously not going to be your starter over Miles Sanders. I mean, that's just not going to be the case. You would be quite crazy if you wanted to go in and actually try to, make that an idea moving forward. But again, with the both of them, it's a balancing act that they have to really start to hone in here, starting today.
Yeah, but I know, excuse me, I apologize for my voice. Miles Sanders did not have the best rushing last week against the Saints. So I get it. That's why you may have just gotten to say, well, let's bring back this other guy. And we did not see Chuba with the Brock until fourth quarter last week. And in the midst of
Yeah, and he only had
Miles,
14 carries.
14?
With Miles. He only had 14 carries. And then the other three didn't have more than 2.
Yeah. Let's go to another member here who has asked a question. Cedar. My answer to that is Frank is disappointing. All the hype in the offense in the offseason. He's calling plays like he's doing any, mini, miny, mo.
That's one way to put it right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I'll let you take this really quick. I asked Frank about how much ability does Bryce have to change the play at the line. And he said something, and just shorten this up, he probably thinks he can, as in Bryce thinks he can, and he's really confident, and he's a bright guy. But you just want to continue to feed him things week by week because he's just still, even though he's phenomenal, he's still just a rookie. I feel like some of that play calling, whether it's Frank or Thomas, that they're still going to want to just not give this guy every single option and every single possibility of every single thing that can be done. Because here's what we got to understand is that Bryce has not played in the pros before. There's things that could be happening that he's never seen before. And if he has more options, that could make it more detrimental to his development because he's like, right now, let's say he has option 1 and 2, just trying to make something up. But now what if we change it to where he has option 1, 2, 3A, 4B, and he's trying to process this while he's also dealing with a game that's going much faster than he's used to. You saw the time that he got strip sacked I think it was called a strip sack, right? Last week.
Yeah.
Okay,
Towards the end of the first half.
he didn't really realize that the guy was coming as fast as he was coming. We all remember the interceptions in Atlanta, and though we can give Atlanta some credit or the defender some credit for kind of not playing how you think he should have played, well, Bryce made that mistake to that same guy more than once because he still didn't make that adjustment. Not saying that he will not make that adjustment, but that's part of the growth that he needs to have. But anyway, I said I was going to be quick. I don't know if I interrupted you there.
No, you're good. But again, with the play calling, part of it is just trying to get Bryce comfortable and doing things that will build confidence. And again, with these building blocks that we keep referring to, that's what he's trying to do, try to ease him into the NFL style of play. And it's frustrating because you want to see more. And I think Panther fans have made that evidently clear. You want to see more out of the offense. And, you don't want to limit the potential for what this offense could bring on any given Sunday. You don't want to handcuff that. So I think, with Frank, he's being cautious and he's going to go back onto the experience side of things in terms of how he's running it. And that's what we're trusting on right now. That's what we're hoping is the case, because if it doesn't materialize, then that's going to be a bad look on Frank and really the rest of the offense.
Tyrone Green, hello, Chris and Andre. Get ready for another loss today. If it is, we'll still be here for you, Tyrone, to come on, and we'll break down the loss, why it happened, what we saw, have some video of it, have some photo of it, and say, hey, this is why we lost. Hopefully that's not the case. It's always so much better when we win. Dom34 says smash the like button and subscribe. Help us we're still trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, so would very much appreciate if you all subscribe to the channel. The merchandise that we're giving,
smash it.
The merchandise that we're giving away, there's the link in the description. You have to go to the one video that we put out each week and follow the instructions. Trust me, you don't have to watch the whole video. Watch the video in like 2 or 3 minutes. You'll see what you have to do. Pretty simple. And we hope that you all will subscribe. Knucklehead K loves the blue. What's going on? Keep pounding and hit that like button. Yeah, Andre has a new setup that looked better than mine when we first came on. I'm going to tell you, I'm a little jealous. Andre, are you easily able to switch to that or no?
Let me do it real quick, actually.
Let's see if we can show him. There's a little hiccup with it, but his setup is actually pretty darn good. When he gets it, I'll bring him back on.
All right. Actually, turn on the camera.
Yeah, you got to do that. But appreciate the feedback, Knucklehead K.
All right. But yeah, So this is what it looks like right now.
Do you have the autofocus on?
It is off right now. But
go ahead and
turn it back on.
Go ahead and turn it
you're
on.
Gonna see.
That's all right.
You're going to see the issue that we have here.
But you'll look great. Are you ready?
So this is what it looks like.
All right. He's not on the screen to you guys yet. I'm going to show him to you, and you guys tell me in the comments if Andre's setup does not look 100% bona fide YouTube guru, okay? You can't put your head down. Now, there's a little hiccup that you'll obviously notice, but here's Andre's setup right now. Look at this guy.
What can I say?
He got the full, YouTube look perfectly. Got the background blurry, the focus just on him.
It's just that one little thing that keeps following my face that we'll figure out here in a little bit how to turn off and have it ready for the postgame show. But I mean, hey, it helps when you have equipment that Chris gives you as a resource that makes everything here look so professional and so clean. And again, that's the part of it, that we're trying to do for all of you is we want to have the most professional possible setup there is because we value your viewership and we want all of you to have that experience to be a part of this 4K world that we're in right now. So we've been messing around with it for the past hour or so. That's probably why we seem a little unprepared trying to get everything perfected here, but that's what we're trying to get to at some point here today.
All right, go ahead. I'll let you go ahead and switch back to your other setup, and I'll bring you back on once you have to switch back. But that was pretty quick. All right. Make sure you cut that camera back off.
Yeah, man, I'm getting it down packed over here.
Did you cut the other one
Yeah,
back
he's
off?
off.
All right. So
Yeah,
again,
it's off now.
we're going to go in a little bit more faster pace here so we can get to as many people as we can. Tyron Green says, my question is why Tepper hasn't addressed this losing issue. So David Tepper doesn't talk to the media much throughout the season at all. So I had already had plans to ask Frank about what his communication has been like with Tepper. That's going to be the most that I can give for you right now, is asking Frank what those conversations have been like. And he'll give me a little or he'll give me a lot. But all I can do is ask the question. But Tyrone, he doesn't ask. I'm sorry, he does not address the media too much during the season.
Which I guess is a good thing because, when you have that back and forth with the media, kind of like with Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, it becomes a circus, right? Let's just be frank about it. I think it's better to have a hands-off approach when it comes to the owner having that back and forth with the media because, again, it just becomes more about the individual than it becomes about the team. So I think from that aspect of things, I don't really want to hear from Dave Tepper every week because he needs to let the team do their thing in that regard.
All right, we're going to speed through the rest of these. And what Andre and I will do, we'll both just take one stab at it so we can continue to move fast through things. Andre, make sure you keep an eye on the comments because we've got a little bit of spam that's coming there. Right. But let's continue to move through. Oh, man, I had a comment that I was going to hit, but all right, here we go. We had Jimmy who says, I'm not a member, but my question is just an opinion question. What do you all think is really going on with Bryce? Are they just trying to protect him, give him some time, or is he really hurt? So, Andre, I'll let you have the one shot at this one.
Yeah, he did get hurt, obviously, in the second half of that Saints game. They're being cautious. They don't want this to be a situation where it gets worse if they continue to put him in there. He's not in any walking boot. He's not needing any sort of assistance walking on that ankle, so that's always a good thing. They're being smart about it. They're being proactive about it, and as much of a bummer it is for us to not see him in there, I feel like it's a blessing in disguise to get him reoriented and reset for whenever he has to pop back into the lineup.
Jimmy says he's going to become a member when he gets back on his feet. Appreciate you, Jimmy. We will be here waiting for you, man. We don't plan on going anywhere, but thank you so much. Tyrone Green with another comment. Ain't nothing wrong with these players. I feel like Wright is lying about injuries, so you mean to tell me as a player gets injured every week? That's insane. So, Tyrone, even though you're a member, man, I got to give it to you straight. You could say Shaq Thompson wasn't really injured. I don't think so. You can say Brady Christensen wasn't really injured. I don't think so. These guys are gone. They're not just out for a week or two or just a play or two. They're gone. You could say J.C. Horn faked the injury. No, again, these guys didn't even finish playing the game, and they're gone for the – they hope J.C.'s not gone for the season, but it looks pretty bad. So Bryce is the only one that you could say that. You have Brian Burns, who's been dealing with an injury. He played through it. He's going to be suiting up today. You have Justin Houston, who's likely to suit up. I don't know if the inactive lists have come out yet, Andre?
I have it right now, actually.
All right, so we'll go to that in just a second. So I think it's just a matter of Panther fans, and I get it, being so upset that they're hyper-reactive about anything. Frank coaching, this happening, that happening, because you want to see some results. So the best thing for this Carolina Panthers team is to start winning, but I think fans, at least for this regime, and I know it's tough, but you got to reset for the Frank Wright and Bryce Young era and give them more than 2 games. Two games, what job do you go on? And in 2 weeks, you know the job. But nevertheless, Tyrone, love you, man, for coming on. Hope to see you some more. And my man Andre has the inactive list. You ready for it?
All right, here we go, everybody. There are 6 players on the inactive list for the Panthers today, so let's get right into it. Running back, Raheem Blackshear. Quarterback, Bryce Young, the obvious one. Safety, Jamie Robinson. Cornerback, Sam Webb. Linebacker, DJ Johnson. and offensive tackle David Sharp. Those 6 are your inactives for today's game. I will read it one more time. Running back Raheem Blackshear, quarterback Bryce Young, safety Jamie Robinson, cornerback Sam Webb, linebacker DJ Johnson, and offensive tackle David Sharp. All are inactive for today's game versus the Seattle Seahawks.
All right, all right, all right. And let's see if I can try to pick up where we are on the comments here. There we go. A little bit of optimism here. The
Okay.
item box. What about that name? Hopefully the Panthers can pull for the win today. Gonna be a tough one on the road. Keep pounding. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Some hope.
Yeah.
Finally, some hope in the comments today. That's what we like to see.
Oh, look,
That's for
Leonard
sure.
chiming in, so I'll take this one. It's a great question. My gut says it feels like a PR injury, but I guess it's possible Bryce did hurt his ankle. So I pause because I'm thinking, all right, how do I really want to comment on that one? PR injury. I see where the mystique comes from because Bryce played the rest of the game. Bryce, to no one that was watching, all the cameramen and ladies, nobody saw it. So it's like, man, what a surprise. I know Joe Person from The Athletic posted a video of him walking out to practice, and he looked pretty good walking out to practice. Didn't seem like anything anywhere was bothering him. I'm not in the medical field to know much. My wife is almost through her process of getting into that field. But one thing I kind of can relate to is Frank said, like, we've all had an ankle injury or had some kind of injury when playing a sport. And when you're playing, the adrenaline and things can kick in enough where during that game, you're good. You're really good. But then once you stop running around, the adrenaline slows down, and it's like, man, this thing is throbbing. I know for me personally, we got 8 minutes, so I'll wrap up. Me personally, I broke this finger right here. Was it that one? Yeah. I forget which one, but yeah, this finger. I broke, yeah, because I can see it's actually technically deformed a little bit right there. I broke this finger playing flag football many years ago. When I broke it, it was like, dang, this thing hurts, right? And I came out for a few plays, but I went back in and I played the rest of the game. Now, I wasn't trying to use that hand a lot because it was hurting, but I was like, dang, it hurts. It wasn't until the next day, and I was like, okay, this thing, it doesn't feel better today. It actually hurts quite a bit. And it took me like a week to go to the doctor and like, yeah, you broke it, but now it's already healing and we'd have to re-break it, which I'm a little wimp, so that made me cringe. Like, I wanted to run out when they said that. But nevertheless, because I want to keep it short and go through some more comments, I feel like, yes, it is possible that he hurt his ankle, but he just was able to play through the game. And yes, I would also say the PR ability could leverage to say, you know what, let's be super cautious. Andy's great. Let's just let this guy sit on the side. But I don't think the whole thing was made up, right? I don't think it's like fake injury. Let's give Andy some time. But I could go with let's be super cautious injury and give Andy some time. All right, we'll keep it moving. I want to go through a few more. C-Dog, my man, says hit the like button. He finally got us PG verbiage. I appreciate it.
Love the energy there, C-Dog.
My man Justin says, I hope to see Laviska use more.
Hey, that's your guy, Chris. Laviska Shenault. Yeah, I think we can all agree that we need to see more of Laviska Shenault and Harris Marshall. And a lot of really the whole offense just needs to show up, right? But yeah, I do want to see him more in the run game. I feel like there's something there with that. He's probably the guy that I would say is that power back that we don't have, but he could fill in that role. I want to see him used more in the pass game. Stop with these little screen routes. Let's see him actually run some routes and do some damage there. But really, that's a message for the whole offense as well. Show up today, please.
Yeah, I'm going to run through a few of these comments here.
Okay.
Steve Wilkes didn't have a problem running the ball last season. Tyrone says Steve Wilkes should have been hired, not Reich. And then
Okay.
C-Dog says should have kept Matt Corral.
Oh man.
Little basketball comment here about C.J. Stroud. Not a basketball comment. That is a football comment. I'm sorry. And let's see. Oh, C-Dog did not like your comment there. He says Miles Sanders isn't McCaffrey. Get out of here with that silly stuff.
I said McCaffrey like. I didn't say he is the. He's not equal to McCaffrey. I didn't say that. He's McCaffrey like with his play style coming out of the backfield. Let me clarify that.
There we go. Let me bring this one up. Michael, I got to fix the font sizes. I don't like how that's showing. I won't mess with the stuff too much while we're live on air, but oh, that's not what I want to do. I said I wasn't going to mess with too much, and what do? I screw it up, so let me see if I can go back to what it was and make it where you all can see. All right. Why is there so much Frank Reich slander? He has a history of starting out slow. I think Panther fans has too many expectations going right now. Come back down to reality and let the team develop.
Yeah, and again, this whole expectation versus reality thing, I mean, it's really set it in right here. Yeah, I mean, he's really relying a lot on the whole experience part of it. If he was like Matt Rule in terms of the accolades that he had, then I feel like, yeah, I would be a little more concerned about, the way of which the team is being run right now. But again, I feel like you got to give everybody the time here to uh, really hone in their thing and try to get into a rhythm, that sort of thing. But yeah, the slander, obviously, it's deserved. I mean, looking into this point in the year, y'all really think we'd be this bad, like playing this poorly? So obviously, there's some concerns there. But there is deserved criticism on the behalf, of Frank Reich and the team's performance up to this point.
Well, I disagree that it's deserved. It's still only week 2.
Yeah, but you got to think about it, though. You didn't think that they would start out this poorly offensively, though, like with the receivers and everything, just with the flow.
Okay, who said that these receivers were like something to be excited about?
Fair point.
Right.
That
Nobody
is
was
a
like,
fair
"Oh, I
point,
can't."
right?
Now you were happy that they had Mingo and you wanted to see what he could do, but ever since we got Thielen and Hurst and all those guys, it's like these are still kind of just like possession receivers, some sure-handed guys, some good leadership, and sure enough, Adam Thielen has been nominated as a captain, but nobody was like, "Yeah, I think Bryce has some weapons." We were more excited about his front line, which has turned into a big disappointment. Well, they were a big disappointment in the preseason. They have looked a lot better in the regular season.
Hmm.
But it was more like, okay, we got a good line. There's some potential here. But I think the slander I think there should be a little bit more patience. But we'll continue to move on. I won't disagree with you too long because we're almost out of time. We just got some breaking photographs in for these guys that we have been
Okay.
talking about. Who have we been talking about?
A little bit of Andy Dalton here, a little bit of Bryce Young there. What we got?
Yeah, we got some photos of Andy Dalton and Bryce Young
Okay.
right there. Uh, both of them look like they're just together in the same picture, but that's about it. Like they're
They're
Bryce is.
conversating, they're scheming.
All right, we'll go to the next one here. Let's see what's the other one here. And then Bryce was like, I've had enough of this. I'm going inside.
Oh, man. Very
I'm joking.
stoic looks on
I'm
both of
joking
their
about it.
faces.
He's had enough of it, but he's going back inside. So hopefully you guys enjoyed those photographs. Hey, I want to say thank you to everybody that has joined us today for this show. And we will be giving away the merchandise in our post-game show. So please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you're trying to find the video, it should be in the description. It's our video that we did last week. I'm even going to help you out. All you got to do is go to that video from Tuesday night, and leave a comment of the word together, and you're now eligible to win the merchandise that we showed earlier. So Andre and I will be back on after the game, approximately 45 minutes after the game. You can expect us to be on. We will have live from Seattle our photographer, Patrick Snyder, will come and give us his perspective about what he saw on the field. That's always a different perspective. We certainly get to see a lot in the press box watching the game, but when you're down on the field, inches away from these guys, you get to see some other perspective about things. So we'll have him live from Seattle post game as well. So for Andre Cassidy, I'm Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe. Thank you all very, very much. We'll see you
Take care,
post game.
everybody.